everybody, and welcome to this coaching call. I hope you are all doing really well. I know there's a lot going on right now, and as of right now, I am recording this on Tuesday, June 2nd. And when you're seeing this, it will probably be Wednesday. So today there is a Blackout Tuesday, and I'm going to be addressing some of the things that are going on in this world right now, especially if you live in the United States, especially what's going on in our nation. And really just going to be going over a couple things here. Today I'm going to cover, I'm going to share a response to what's happening currently in our world and how it will affect our businesses, how to communicate during this time, and really to get more technical and skill-based, I'm going to go over a little more about how to prepare to open if you have not already, and kind of how that relates to what's going on, both with George Floyd and also COVID-19. So I hope you guys are all doing well. I hope you're staying safe. It's a crazy time right now, and I think it's important to address some things. So really quickly, or not really quickly, I just want to say, I want to talk about George Floyd really, right now, and may he rest in peace, and may justice be brought to his name and the rest of the Black community. I don't have the words to say, and there's really no possible way for me to relate or properly empathize with the lives of Black people across the world, and especially across our United States nation. But I do want to say I am committing to becoming more educated, aware, and proactive of how I can join in this fight against racism and bring equality for all. And I really, really strongly urge you to do the same. Things are happening in this world, in our nation. This man was murdered, and it is, as a white woman business owner, like I know a lot of you in this group are, it's very, very hard to even, grasp an understanding of everything that's going on and how hurt the Black community feels right now, how angry they feel. And, my words are, they don't mean a lot, but I want to encourage you. I know you're probably, maybe you're struggling with how you should communicate, and I'm going to be going over that in a second, but I just want to say, for anyone who has been directly affected by this horror, and not even, the riots and some of the looting, maybe your business was torn apart, I don't know. I just want to say that I'm sorry, and I hope that you will join me in becoming more educated, becoming more aware, and becoming more proactive to join in on this fight for equality and just the changes that need to be made. Not only in our nation, because I know it goes around, in other parts of the world. So that's what I want to say about that. Again, my words are not right, and it's hard to find the words to say during a time like this. But I did want to say that, and I want to go over, how to respond, and obviously, in addition to educating yourself on how you too can become an advocate for change in our world, there's questions that come up as business owners during this difficult time. On top of everything that's happened with COVID-19, we are, of course, now faced with hard decisions on how to communicate how we are feeling when we see a fellow human being murdered by the hands of police. and like I said before, many business owners, myself included, we maybe have this uncertainty, and we're sure and like uncomfortable addressing these events, making it difficult to know how to use our social media platforms, use our voice on those platforms. And you might be fearful of saying the wrong thing, or simply not knowing how to articulate the right things to say. And I just want to let you know you're not alone. But that's why I'm doing this type of coaching call. I wanna come together and kind of give you my thoughts, share my tips, though they're not the best. I want to at least try. So obviously, rather than telling you exactly what to say, I want to just share a post from one of our students that I found very beautifully written, in hopes it will give you some clarity in regards to, for your own communication on social media. Obviously, we can't really be silent during this time, and I do believe that you need to address it. So I want to share with you, Chelsea was so kind. I asked her if I could share this with you, all of you guys, and she said yes. So she said, she posted her picture, was just like I think it was her logo, but that's not the most important thing. What she said was, I was hoping that the next post I would make on my business account would be an excited announcement that I was finally reopening for business and taking appointments. However, while our community and the world navigates the struggles of COVID-19, I wanted to take this time to address an even bigger issue. We all saw and were left reeling from the video of George Floyd being murdered in the subsequent protests and riots. Whether or not you agree with the actions of those protesting, the message is one that we all must actively support. It is long overdue in this country to openly admit we have a problem with racism and systematic racism, and now is the time to finally come together as not just Americans, but loving, compassionate human beings, so that our family members, neighbors, friends, and strangers are treated with dignity, respect, and justice, despite the color of their skin. Sorry, I'm like tearing up right now. It has always been my policy as a tattoo artist to never tattoo any racist or bigoted imagery, and I have always been an outspoken advocate for those with less privilege than myself. White privilege is not a derogatory term, but rather the fact that I will never face the same struggles as people of color in this country. I will never worry about my boys being arrested for walking down the street, or what will happen if my husband gets pulled over, or being discriminated against because of my race. It is easy to simply say, I am not a racist, but I implore you all to not only be not racist, but to reject racist actions from those around you, whether big or small, to denounce those in our community who promote racism and discrimination, and to continually challenge your own stereotypical beliefs. And I pledge to continue learning, speaking out, and standing up. Please be safe. Please help those around you, and continue to be being beautiful. So, Chelsea. That was beautiful. I hope that it kind of gives you an idea of, if you're struggling with the right words to say. Obviously, you don't have to copy this word for word. Well, yeah, you shouldn't, obviously, but I hope that it kind of lets you see, if you happen to be a white woman, a white business owner, and you just don't know what to say, and you're afraid of saying the wrong thing, like, I encourage you to reread this, take a screenshot of this or something, and speak out for those who sometimes don't have a voice. You have your platform. Social media is a platform. You are an influencer, whether you have 10 followers or 10,000 followers. You are an influencer because people follow you, and you have the ability to influence their lives and their thoughts, and even their actions sometimes. So I encourage you to write something, just like Chelsea did, and just step out there and let your community know that you are with them and you stand by them. My tips, just some little tips for communication. Do not use your platform for bashing one side or the other. It's very easy right now. I don't believe I've seen any of you do this, but it's easy to look at social media all day and see, maybe you follow a bunch of, right-winged people and their message is something way different from someone else. And so you start seeing all these things and you just like go on this rampage of whatever you believe in that moment. And that's just not the best way to go about this, especially like on your business accounts for social media. It just is not. I mean, it was the same thing with COVID-19, all the issues there. It's just, do not use your platform to bash one side or the other. Do use your platform for spreading kindness, positivity, and love to those who follow you, of course, which is your community. Do not stay silent and put your head in the sand. But remember that when you post anything, you have followers and clients who have been directly affected by the ongoing inequality, and what you say does matter and does speak to them directly, whether you do realize it or not. Just want to remind you of that. So I want to go over how this will kind of affect our businesses and your beauty business in particular. So several of you maybe had to board up, do the protesting and looting. Hopefully not too many of you, but I know of a couple students at least that were not able to have their businesses, like they were afraid that something would happen last night. And today, whether, wherever you are in the world, if you're in the States, it's just a really, really scary time. So several of you have had to board up, or you've had to be on high alert of your business, and it's very, very scary. You weren't sure, even like with COVID-19, you're like, oh my gosh, we're preparing to open, and then all this happens. It's a freaking weird time, and there's no good thing to say about that, okay? But obviously, common sense, do not open back up until it is completely safe for you and your team to do so. That obviously should be common sense. I just want to remind you, though, to keep that in mind. And also, just stay up to date on your community's happenings by joining your city's Facebook page, following local news stations, and communicating with your fellow business neighbors. So my office is, 12 minutes away from where I live, and there's a protest happening tonight, I'm pretty sure like right now, and I had to go and grab all my stuff and grab, everything of my values, because we just weren't sure. So I knew that because my landlord told me and my neighbors told me, and just be in constant communication if you're not already, with your neighbors, with your business neighbors, and Facebook pages, whatever, however you stay in the loop. Just be ultimately aware, which I know you guys are doing. I just want to remind you. So how to communicate your reopening. I want to go over this as more technical, skill-based stuff, and just kind of important things to go over. But in the previous coaching call, if you have not yet watched the last one, it's called coaching call number 10, I believe. It is something you should watch if you haven't yet, so please go back and watch it. But I went over the following. I kind of went over, scheduling for reopening, what emails to send to clients, emails to send to new leads that have not yet become clients. Maybe you were running an ad before all this happened, and you have all these emails and all these like phone numbers and leads that people were interested in coming and booking an appointment with you, but COVID-19 happened and you couldn't take them as clients. So I went over that. Go back to the last coaching call, watch it. I went over social media posts to announce opening back up and how ads will look when you do open back up. But as a refresher, I just want to go over some things right now. Here's just a couple quick tips. So make certain that you are communicating consistently on social media. It is so, so key. You cannot over communicate right now, okay? In regards to reopening, okay, if you have not yet reopened, I think there's a little bit of a split. Some of you have reopened, some of you have not reopened. Whatever your case is, like if you have not opened yet, you need, and you know the date of when you're going to reopen, and it's like really big news. I mean, you have to post about it on social media. You should be posting at least once a day, whether that's on your story or your feed. I follow most of you on social media, and you post several times a day, which is awesome. Also, this is something I've been seeing a lot. So you need to use your captions to explain the details. Do not write one sentence, just like a one sentence line that says, "We're open, book your appointment now." That's not going to cut it. Like, so go back into the lessons, go to the first module where I show you how to optimize your social media accounts, and I go over some caption tips. Like, the caption is the gold. Like, you need to give all the details. So write out a bullet point list of everything your clients need to know before they can book an appointment with you. Whether that is, here's the opening date, and here's what we're doing to keep you and us safe. Any detail that you have, and then of course, provide a call to action on how they can book an appointment with you. Make sure that your link in your bio or whatever, if you're putting a link in your caption for Facebook, because that's clickable, make sure that the link is the right one, okay? Make sure it's maybe to your booking software if that's relevant for what you're saying. Make sure it works and that everything is all set up properly so that there's no hiccups. People aren't like wondering, okay, cool, they're open, but their link is taking me some blog post, so I don't really know how to book an appointment. Just make sure everything is good to go and all set up so that there's no bumps in the road and people are booking appointments with you. So here's some email tips. So send out an email at least once a week during this time, okay? So say that you don't open for like a couple weeks, which hopefully it's going to be less than that, but you should have, during this entire time, I've gone over this before, you should have been emailing your list out at least once a week. So you need to, so say that, just to go over really quick, so say that you open in 5 days. Okay, you're going to want to send out an email like tomorrow, and you're going to want to include updates, all necessary health and safety protocols, a link to your scheduling software, any re-grand opening specials you have going on with details on how to claim them, etc. You need to let people know on email that you're opening, and you're going to have to tell them in that email how they can book an appointment with you. And maybe you're doing like a special, like $10 off your service when you come back in, or maybe you've even raised your prices because of things. So you need to make people aware of that. Whatever your situation is, you need to be emailing your people, okay? So you cannot over communicate during this time in regards to your business reopening again. Your followers/clients, they need reminders via both social media and email, because they may miss your Instagram post but see your email. Or they may accidentally skip over your email but see your Instagram post. Like, you don't be afraid of sharing something, the exact same thing on your email as like Facebook and Instagram. Don't be afraid of oversharing that, because people miss things and they need to be reminded. Their lives are busy. Just remind them what's going on, how they can book an appointment, so that you can make some money. So I want to show you this fun example of a Lash Studios post to announce they're back open. I love this video and I want to share it with you. I saw it a few days ago. So watch this. I hope the audio works. I think it should.
Screening questions first. Alrighty, the first question is have you been in close contact with a confirmed case of COVID-19?
Nope.
Have you had a fever or felt feverish in the last 72 hours?
Nope.
Are you experiencing any respiratory symptoms, including a runny nose, sore throat, or shortness of breath?
No, I have not.
Are you experiencing any new muscle aches or chills?
Nope, all good.
Have you experienced any new change in your sense of smell or taste?
Nope, nothing's changed. Okay, I'll put my mask on now.
Hi!
Hey!
So good to see you.
So good to see you.
So first things first, I'm going to have you put your shoes in here.
Okay.
Do you have to use the restroom?
Nope, I'm all set.
changes in here are now that we're taking the shoes off of the door like we used to do in the wintertime. We're just going to continue that year round now just to kind of take that excess germs out. And then in here, we're changing every pillowcase like we used to do in between clients, and we're also changing this sheet. So we no longer have our pretty bedding, but you still have the comfort of the memory foam and the heated blanket underneath, just with a nice clean sanitized surface. With the new basket, we're going to be wiping down our plastic baskets, no longer cloth, every time in between each client, so that way nobody's germs from purse to purse, jacket to jacket is transferred. So everything's nice and clean, we're sanitized, and we're ready for you.
All right, so I think that was an awesome video. I've shared these girls, they do really, really good videos. I've shared some of their videos before. So that is really just to give you an idea of, hey, like, you obviously don't have to go that extreme if you're like, oh my gosh, I cannot do that. Don't worry. Maybe have some fun with it. Maybe you do want to do that. I don't know. It's just to give you an idea, like, hey, this is what your clients need to know before they come in. This is the safety and health protocols that you're doing. So just take that and run with it however you like. So what your ads should look like. So if you're going to run ads, what should they look like? So it is now the time to get creative. For all of you that have been in this group for a while, you may or may not know I redid a bunch of lessons. All of you that are new, you're not going to know because you joined after I had done them. So it's a time to get creative. We need to adjust with the times. We need to be using social media in a very strategic way, especially as we approach the recession and, just opening up your doors again. It's just basically get creative. So head into module 5. If you've already completed the previous modules before, obviously go step by step. All of you who are new, if you have not completed, modules 1 through 4 yet, then do that before doing what I tell you. So head into module 5 if you already completed the ones before it, and you need to come up with a winning offer that's relevant to the current times. If you want to run a special, if your books still are not up to par when you reopen, say that you are opening up next week and you still don't have like completely full books for whatever reason. Maybe you've lost some clients, maybe some people just aren't super comfortable coming back to you yet because of their own reasons, then you need to come up with a winning offer and run ads based on that offer, which I go over obviously inside SOS Academy. So here's an example. Grand reopening special. First 12 people get $10 off their entire service. Here's another example. Quarantine reboot special. That I literally just made that up. It's terrible, but just go with it. We know you're eager to get pampered again after being stuck at home for so many weeks. That's why we're giving the first lucky few to see this 25% off a full body massage. So again, make it relevant to what is happening right now. Like, put yourself in your customers and your clients' shoes. And people, if you're running ads to people who have never even heard of you, you need to just put yourself in their shoes and be like, hey, we know these past few months sucked and you're probably going to need some or want some self-pampering. Let us do your lashes. Let us give you a massage. Whatever your specialty is, whatever you do in your business, try to adjust your messaging, which I actually went over in the last coaching call. Adjust your messaging so that it is relevant and it really, really gets them. I've seen ads like, hey, book an appointment for a massage, like really, really basic ads. And it drives me crazy because you can literally get such a better response and so many people if you use the right copywriting and the right messaging. And again, obviously I teach you this inside SOS Academy, but you have to stay relevant with what's happening right now. And right now, people want to be pampered. People want to get out of their house. If the stay-at-home order is being lifted soon, or if it's already being lifted in your community and you're open back up, or you're preparing to open back up, speak to them. in your ads. Like, let them know you're there for them, in that maybe you're doing a special and you want them to book an appointment because you're going to take care of them, and they can just forget about all the craziness with COVID-19 that's happened and kind of escape for a little bit. So take that as you will and just get creative with it. So always remember to make adjustments. Obviously, if you haven't gotten to this module yet, in module 5, I go over how to create your sales funnel and how to edit it. But if you do end up switching up your offer, obviously remember to make adjustments inside your sales funnel to fit your current offer. So if you were running an ad, if your first funnel was like 25% off entire service, but now obviously things have changed and you want to adjust the copy a little bit, and make it relevant to COVID-19 and everything like I just went over, then change everything inside the inside your sales funnel. So head to module 5, lesson 4, titled Creating Your Sales Funnel, Biggest Asset to Your Business. So go in there, have a refresher. If you've already watched it, have another refresher of how to edit your funnel in ClickFunnels, and so that you can get that ad up and running. So additional tips: as you prepare to open and revamp your books, I want you to go through each module and lesson inside SOS Academy as a refresher. If it's been, for some of you who have not, who have been inside this private student group for a while, just go back and watch the lessons, okay? If you've not seen the new and updated lessons, if you've been in this group for several months, I strongly encourage you to go watch them right now. Or obviously whenever you can. So again, this is a little tip. So if you do have a tighter ad budget right now due to COVID-19, maybe you just, you don't have a bunch of cash flow, obviously, and you don't have a ton of money laying around. I totally get it. What you can do is go to module 2 inside SOS Academy and watch the lessons on free ways to gain new clients. If you've not watched that module yet, those lessons inside that module, I want you to go back, because you can get clients. It's going to take a little more time. Obviously, it's not as automated really at all, but if you have the time and you do not want to spend a ton of money on ads, then I encourage you to go to module 2 and watch the lessons on free ways to gain new clients. If you do have a little bit of a budget and you can spend money on ads right now, go back and watch modules 5, 6, and 7, where I go over how to create ads and how to get your funnel all set up and how to automate it, all that stuff. If it's been a while and you haven't watched it yet, or you have watched it a while ago, please go back, refresh it, because this is a grand reopening. You need to have all this momentum built up. I know that you feel anxious about it and you're super excited to open your doors back up, but if you do not communicate that with your community and with your leads, with your current clients, with your future clients, people that don't even know you exist, they're not going to feel that momentum, and your books are going to suffer for it. Your wallet's going to suffer for it. So treat this time as you prepare to open as literally like your grand opening, okay? Like you've just launched your business and nobody has been in yet, and just treat it like that, because when you treat it like that, you're going to build up this momentum, and your energy is actually going to come through in the form of your ads, in the form of your social media posts, and it is going to create a buzz around your business, and guess what? That's going to fill your books. So try to have that mindset as you move forward. And always remember, if you do get stuck, if you're going through the lessons, going through the modules inside SOS Academy, and you get stuck on something, make sure that you didn't miss something and your question isn't already in one of the lessons, worksheets, or coaching calls. It's really easy to be like, oh, I'm just going to, DM Megan and ask her something. But really, I've already answered your question in one of the lessons or one of the coaching calls. So make sure just, not to waste your time, not to waste my time, not to keep stuff away from other students. I really, really need you to, look inside the lessons. But if you cannot find the answer, I know obviously there's so much to learn. If you're new here, you're learning things that you've never been taught before, and yes, there is a big learning curve at some different points inside SOS Academy, what I teach you. So again, if you do get stuck, which will happen, and you get confused and you're like, wait, I just don't get this, that's going to happen. I totally understand. That's why we have this private student group. So post inside this group, post your question. Okay, I can't respond to everyone's DMs or emails regarding specific training skills, but I can keep an eye out inside this private student group and answer your questions for you here. So take that just as a reminder. If you have questions, post inside this group, and make sure that you do that, because not only is that better for me, it's also better for all the other students, because they can see your question and maybe they are going to have that question in the future, or maybe they have that question right now and they just haven't asked it yet. And it brings to light something that can help other people. So just a friendly reminder, post inside this group if and when you do get stuck on something. So let's still together crush our 2020 goals. I know there's so much going on in the world right now. I know so many of you, including me, our hearts are heavy. It's a very confusing time in the world, there's a lot of unrest and discomfort. And I want to encourage you, again, to take everything we've gone over in this coaching call, put it to work, stay educated, get educated, keep educating yourself on ways you can help, how you can better this world. That's literally why we're here. Like, it's why I created the SOS Academy, why I'm doing coaching calls like this, why I do anything in life, is I want to make an impact, and I hope and I think that all of you here want to make a positive impact, not just in your community, but in the world. And it starts within our communities. And as business owners, we each have a voice and we each have power. We're each leaders. So I want you to remind yourself of that, remind yourself of how much a badass you are. And, being a badass business owner, it's not about, making, as much money as you can. And even though that's great and you get all these clients and you make so much money, it's also about impacting the lives of your clients, aka your community. And it all starts with how you communicate and your messaging, and how you treat people, not just in person when you see them as your clients, when they come through your business doors, but how you respond to people, how you treat people on social media. So I encourage you to just move forward and stay positive, stay empathetic, and really just, again, let's still crush our 2020 goals. 2020 has so far sucked. There's no way to go around that. There's no other word for it. It's totally sucked. There's been some, silver linings, of course, but it's not been the best year, and I think we can all agree with that. But if we focus on that and it allows us to not move forward in a positive direction for our business and our lives, then we're doing ourselves and our community and our employees and whoever else is directly affected by your business, it does all of that disservice. So crush your 2020 goals. I want to help you do that. Let me know if you have any questions, but again, I'm thinking about you guys. I'm praying for you guys. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you soon.